one of the key purposes of the Congress, of course, is to put the appropriate things into the law and then to ask about the timelines for implementation. That is one of the key roles of the people up here on this dais. I appreciate the nature of your concerns about it, but that's what we do for the people that we represent. Mr. Elwell, the FAA Reauthorization Act includes several important changes related to the contract tower program, including Section 152 authorizing the FAA to make grants to these airports from the Small Airport Fund to construct or improve their air traffic control towers. In Arizona, Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport is one of the fastest growing regional airports and the busiest contract air traffic control tower in the country. Just last 5 years, annual operations have increased 80% and commercial activity continues to grow by double digits. The existing tower was constructed in 1970 by the Air Force, not intended for commercial use. An FAA siting study identified the need for a new tower due to several safety issues with the existing tower. A new air traffic control tower is critical for this airport, and with 90% of the design completed for a new tower, federal funding for its construction must be a priority. What is the status of the FAA's implementation of Section 152?
So we're meeting all the requirements on contract towers, and we don't see any problem with it. We're gonna meet them all. With respect to Williams Gateway, personal connection there. It's where I learned to fly, Williams Air Force Base, and then it came full circle. And one of the first meetings I had in this capacity was the mayor of Mesa telling me we need a new tower, but we're only eligible for $2 million towards it. And I'm really glad to see that we fixed that, and that you're going to get a new tower. It is the busiest contract tower in the country, and I'm glad to see we finished. We just gave $1.3 million for the design study. It's going to be a 20-some-odd million project, but it will be funded.
All right. We're nostalgic for the name Williams Gateway. It's now Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport, as it's gone commercial, but thanks for your service. We appreciate that very much. In April, the FAA hosted a series of workshops in the Phoenix area to hear from residents about flight noise. Those workshops are part of the 2017 lawsuit settlement over noise in the area, a lawsuit filed by the city of Phoenix when I was mayor. I appreciate the FAA holding these workshops. Going forward, it's important for the FAA to work closely with the impacted communities to incorporate what was learned at these workshops and to make adjustments necessary to lessen the noise impacts from the eastbound flight path. What are the FAA's next steps in this process, particularly as additional engagement with the impaired communities, Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, and what's the expected timeline?
Well, sir, it's a two-step process, as you're aware. We finished step one, looking at departure route changes based on the community engagement. We have now completed the engagement phase of step two and looking at those recommendations. As you know, there's no commitment to make changes after consultation in step two, but anything we can do, we're gonna do. And I'd have to get back to you on the timeline of that. I'm sure that the folks that are having those meetings have a deadline for when they're going to get back.
We'll follow up. I appreciate that very much. Let's talk staffing shortages. Staffing shortages in the FAA and the impact it's having on your regulatory functions. These staffing shortages are causing delays in approval of environmental reviews, and I and so many other members of Congress are concerned that these delays will have a ripple effect in delaying important construction projects. What steps is the FAA taking to address current staffing needs, particularly on the regulatory side, to ensure timely environmental reviews?
Well, sir, I'll have to get back to you on that. To get any specifics on staffing shortages for environmental reviews, I'll get back to you. I know that they, depending on whether it's a CADX or an EA or an EIS, they can be rather lengthy, and obviously the size of the examination can have a big impact. But unless Lirio,
that's fair answer. We'll follow up, and I appreciate you taking the time to get back to me on that issue. I want to turn now to Flagstaff's Pulliam Airport in northern Arizona. Flagstaff averages more than 100 inches of snow annually. Its airport is classified as a very large airport, meaning it has at least 1 million square feet of total paved runway. It must be cleared during snow events. The airport has applied for an FAA supplementary discretion grant to construct a multi-use equipment building. The airport's current storage facility is at full capacity, doesn't have room to store additional equipment, including no additional room for snow equipment that the airport purchased last year. The proposed multi-use building will provide much-needed storage to protect the airport's extensive equipment. I just want you to know that I support their request and look forward to working with you and want you to keep me updated on the status of that project.
We'll keep you updated on that request, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Recognize